Hello everyone, my name is Shafi. Today in this video we are going to discuss about how we can access the router, how many different methods available to be access the router. Then we do the basic configuration of the router here. So here in the slide you can see that one as per the diagram, the connectivity how we have. For an example, so this is my computer. Okay, you can take your desktop or laptop, anything you can take it here, this one. And this is my router here, this one. Consider this is a brand new router. When you have a brand new router, by default, there is no configuration on that router. Okay. Now, when there is no configuration in this router, then how you can access that router here? Again, the whatever, see, this is the hardware. So on this, we have installed one operating system. For that operating system, we call it iOS, Internet Network Operating System. And that operating system is a command line operating system. Okay. Now you have the Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11 you have. That's a graphical operating system. But this one is the command line operating system. Means whenever you access, that comes completely command line. There is no graphical. Yes, we have some options with the graphical, but always Cisco recommends to go with the command line, not within a graphical. Even you go into the real-time environment, production network. Okay, there we will not using any tools to access that router for the graphical. Always we use the command line itself here, this one. Okay, so now how you can able to be access this router? The first time if you want to be access, if there is no configuration on the router, if you want to be access, what happened this one? You get one console cable. You get one console cable. So this is the console cable. Can you see this one? This is the console cable here. Okay. This console cable, you can connect one end to your laptop or desktop, another end to your router here, this one. To connect this one, what happened here? We have a different types of cable here. In the console also, we have different types of. When you're connecting this end on the laptop or desktop, you get DB9 connector. DB9 connector means, have you seen the VGA connector? If you want to connect from this CPU to the monitor, there is one cable you'll be getting, right? That's a VGA cable, video graphic array. How you're connecting the monitor, you want to connect to the CPU, the whatever the cable. Nowadays we have the HDMI. Okay, HDMI cable, we have this one, but still we have the VGA cable. So it looks similar to the VGA cable, the DB9 connector. Yes, pins. You get it like this. Okay, some pins you'll be having here, this one. This is how you'll be getting the VGA connector. So this is my console cable. Okay, this end I'll be having the DB9 connector here. And when you come to here, the another end where you will be connecting to the router. So this is the RJ45 connector. This is the RJ45. RJ45 means what? It's like an Ethernet port. Can you look here, this one? This is the Ethernet port, RJ45 here, this one. Okay. See, one end I am connecting to my laptop or desktop. Another end I am connecting to the router. Where I'm connecting on the router, we have one port called console port. Okay. On this, I am connecting. See, this is the RJ45 jack. The another end we have. But here, whatever the port I'm having, right? This is the console cable. But in a router, you get console port. Console port you'll be getting. On that console port, you are connecting that cable. Now you can able to be access the router, this one. This is the direct access, console access, physical access, this one. Okay. So you take any router. In that router, if there is no configuration, always you have to access with the console port first time. Okay. Clear? After this, what you can do, this one. Now in the console, instead of DB9, we have the latest now USB. Latest we have what? USB. We don't have. See, in the old cable, console cable, we were having the DB9. Now, latest console cable, you take USB. That means you can connect on USB port. On your computer, laptop, USB port. On another end, still RJ45 we have. But another end also, we have the USB. But your hardware should be support for that one. Okay, now the latest hardware, whatever you take in the Cisco, that 4000 series router we are taking, in that we have the both. We have the console port with RJ45 also. We have the USB console port also. Both we have this one. It's up to you that one, which one you want to be use this one. That's how we have. Now, if in my lab, if you can see here this one, I'm having a console cable. One end I have connected to my laptop. That's the USB port. The another end, it's RJ45 where I have connected on the router. Can you see this one? This is the console cable. Okay, now I have connected from my laptop to the router on the console cable, but this end I'm having the USB, another end RJ45 I'm having. Okay, now I can able to be access here this one. Okay, the first time I'm accessing. After that one, you have some base configuration. Base configuration means what happen? See, always every time it's not possible to access your router or any other network device directly. Is it possible? Because engineer sitting here in India, Bangalore. Now your data center it's in US. Okay, means all the server routers, switches, or any network devices which is placed on the data center. Okay, now how you can able to be access that devices remotely? For that one, you had to we use two protocols. Whenever with any device, if you want to access remotely with a command line, it's a depend here. See, any device you can access remotely. Any device you can. Now depend what type of device you are accessing, whether that device is having the graphical operating system or the command line operating system. If any device having the graphical operating system, GUI, graphical user interface, suppose I want to access this device from here, okay, then we use RDP protocol, remote desktop protocol. This is the protocol we use, RDP, remote desktop protocol, to access any device remotely. Which one? Graphically. Okay. Now, example, Windows Server you have. I want to access Windows Server from the data center to here, this one. Then I use the RDP protocol, remote desktop protocol. Okay. Now, coming to this router, now it's having what? CLI, command line interface, command line operating system. We have this one. Now, if I want to access this router remotely, then we use two protocol, that is a Telnet and SSH. Telnet and SSH. Okay. These are the two protocol we use to access the devices remotely, Telnet and SSH. But every time we use SSH, most of the time we use SSH. Okay, in the production network. In the production network, always we use the SSH, not most of the time. Always we use the SSH, not Telnet. But here in my lab, I'm going to use the Telnet here, this one. Okay. So what is the difference between the Telnet and SSH? In the Telnet, we don't have the security. SSH, we have more security. That is the only difference. But both these are the remote protocols. If any device you want to be accessed remotely, either you can use Telnet or SSH. Okay. The difference between the Telnet and SSH, in the Telnet, we don't have the security. In SSH, we have the more security, that one. So example, HTTP and HTTPS protocol, you have this one, right? These are the two protocol we use to access any web server. Okay. HTTP, we don't have the security. HTTPS, we have more security. That is only the difference. Similarly, we have this one. But by default, this two configuration, Telnet and SSH, will be not there on your router. Okay. Suppose you want to be access this device remotely with the Telnet or SSH, that configuration has to be done here, this one. Okay, Telnet configuration or SSH configuration has to be done, that one. So after configuring the Telnet, SSH and some base configuration, then after not require this console cable. Okay, now you can access this router remotely. Remotely means what? Somehow the connectivity should be there. Remotely means what? For example, I'm sitting here in India. So the data center, it's in US. If you want to be access any device remotely, means somehow the connectivity will be there. How connectivity? Through the internet we are connecting, or through the VPN we are connecting, through MPLS we are connecting. Somehow the backend connectivity will be there, but not required to connect any cable directly from my laptop or desktop to that device or data center, that one. So here you can see here, see again my PC is connected to the switch. Okay, this is the switch. From the switch, you can connect to the router here. Okay, to connect from the switch to the router, which port we are going to use? From the switch, see here you can see one cable is coming from the PC and connecting on the switch here. Okay, another cable, it's connecting from the switch to the router. Now, which port we are going to use to connect here? Ethernet port. Now we have latest gigabit Ethernet port. In the LAN, you want to connect any device to the router, which ports we are going to use? Okay, Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. Now, Ethernet, fast Ethernet, we don't have. We have the gigabit Ethernet port. Gigabit Ethernet port we have connected here, this one. So after this one, I had to assign the IP address here. Okay. Then here also IP address had to be assigned this one. Now I can able to access this router without console cable. How? Through this. Some of the connectivity is required, but still it's called remote access. Directly, I'm not connecting that one. So that's how we are going to be access the devices remotely. Got it? So this is the cable, Ethernet cable, which we have connected, and this is the USB, the console cable. See, one end USB you have, another end RJ45. This USB will be connecting in your laptop or desktop, and this RJ45 it will be connecting on in your router. Got it? This one. This is very important, the connectivity method, access method, and everything. Why? Because if you go into the production, what happen every day or sometimes most of the time you are going to be access these devices. Might be you are not connecting with the console, but still you should have the knowledge, okay, how the console cable connect, how you can be access this one. But see, only the connectivity is different, but access is same everything. If you access with the console also, same output you will be getting. With the telnet also, same output you will be getting. There is no difference on that one, but still you should be know how many different methods available to be access on that one. Because if you go into the production network, so you'll be doing some troubleshooting on the gateway. So then you have to access that routers, the gateways you have to be access this one. So that's the reason it's very important, the base configuration here. Most of the people, they'll miss this base configuration. Clear? Now I'm going to access the router here. Okay. This is my laptop. From this laptop, see, this is the router. You can see 1841 series router I have taken here, this one. And this is the console cable I have connected to my laptop, and I have connected one more to here on the console port I have connected. Now I'm going to be access this router here. And one more thing, to access any of the network device. Okay. This is the router we have. You take any network device, either you go with router, switch, okay, firewall. I'm talking about Cisco. I'm not talking about any other devices. Okay, VPN or any other device you want to be access this remotely. Okay. Yes, console cable or telnet SSH, something which if you have enabled, you can able to be accessed. But from which computer or laptop you are trying to be accessed, on that device, terminal program has to be installed. Terminal program. It's called what? Terminal program has to be installed. For an example, you want to play a movie in your laptop, right? To play that movie, supported software is required. Some video player we required here, or VLC you can install, or any other player you can be installed. Without installing that, is it possible to play the movie? It's not possible to play that movie, this one. Okay. So like MX player we have, VLC we have, but Windows, if you take by default media player, Windows media player, we have this one. It's going to be play that one. Without that, it's not possible. Now, you want to access any server, web server, example, Google you want to connect or Gmail you want to connect. How you are going to connect? Through browser you are connecting. Without browser, is it possible to connect to that web server? No, right? Right? So that's how it's designed for every connection, every access. It's a design, some different application here. Now to access the router also remotely, so some terminal programs means any one terminal program has to be installed in your laptop and desktop. Without that terminal program, it's not possible to access the router. There are many terminal programs we have. Example, okay, putty. Generally we say putty, okay, putty, not putty. Okay. Then we have secure CRT, secure CRT, hyper terminal. This is how some terminal programs we have. Putty, secure CRT, okay, super putty, M putty, something we have different terminal program. This is called terminal program. With the help of this terminal program, we are going to be access the devices here, this one. If you don't have this terminal programs, it's not possible to access this one. In this one, very famous is this one, putty. Why it's very famous? Because it's a very small software. even not required to install also that one. Okay, it's very small and it's a free of cost, not required to pay anywhere that one. And it supports any version of operating system. Okay, it supports, you take Linux operating system, Windows operating system, it's going to be support that one. That means for Linux you have to download separately and Windows you have to download separately. It's not going to, single application is not going to support anywhere that one, both the operating system. And you go anywhere in the production, everywhere we use PuTTY only. Okay, now in my laptop also I have installed already the PuTTY here, and that's a free of cost. You just Google it, you'll be getting, and you can be download and you can be installed in your laptop that one. Now from this PuTTY, I'm going to be access the router. Either you go with console or you go with a telnet or you go with SSH. It can be anything. Okay, so let's do it now. Guys, any doubts, any questions? Are you getting everyone online?
Yes, sir.
The example, just Google it, PuTTY. So here we have www.putty.org or PuttyGen, you can go. So this is what, download PuTTY software. Download PuTTY from here, you can download it. Okay. So if you want later, I'll provide you all these links. Okay. Later, I'll be sharing you these links if you want. From here, you can download and you can do it this one. Now, already have downloaded that one. For me, not required. See, if I go here, PuTTY, PuTTY, if I type here this one, see it get open. This is how it opens. Okay, this is the PuTTY here. I'm having this one. Okay, or what you can do this one. Already you can be pinned to the taskbar also here. This one. Getting the point. See here. Can you see this one? See here. Right click and pin here. It's very simple. Okay, this one. Now the first time when you are accessing, without this it's not possible to access. What happened here? You have to select the serial. How I am accessing? Through the console port I'm accessing, right? Serial I had to select. Then I had to give the open here. Say I'm getting some error here. Unable to open connection to COM1. COM means communication port. This is the COM port, we say that one. So no problem. Why I'm getting this error? See, when I'm selecting this serial here, see, this is the COM1 port I'm getting here, this one. Why it's unable to? Because in your laptop, you have the multiple USB ports. You should be know under which port it is connected. Your console cable is connected. For that one, what you can do this one, you can go to the right click on your my device, go to the manage. Okay, computer right click. Okay, and right click and go to the manage here. From here, you can go to the device manager. From here, the ports COM and LPT, communication and line print terminal, we can say. That is for the printer we can use. Here, if we go, the USB serial COM, which one I'm having here? COM4 I'm having. But I'm trying to connect with. But here I'm having what? COM1. So I had to be select COM4 here. Then if you type open, see, I can able to be access that one. One second, I'm just sharing that. Got it? So now I can able to be access the router here. See, I just turned on the router. On that router, what happened? You don't have any configuration. When there is no configuration, it displays like this. Would you like to enter initial configuration dialog? Yes or no? Always give no. Okay, always give no. If you give yes, what happen? It gives some sequence. it gives sequence means automatically router gives sequence to configure that one. It will be asked configure hostname, configure IP address, configure enable telnet, configure password. This is how it will be asking. According to that, you have to configure that one. Okay. What I will do, I don't want to follow the router's instruction. Okay. I'll just give the no. Then whatever I want, I can be configure here this one. That's how you can be do it this one. Okay. Yeah. If you want, you can go with the yes. But in a sequence, you have to go that one. Okay, whatever you want to configure, it's not possible. According to what instructions you are getting, what option you are getting to configure, you have to configure. So always I'll select no here, this one. Come. Okay. See, I am into the router. Suppose if it is a router, it displays always router only. If it is a switch, it displays as a switch. If it is a firewall, it displays firewall. If it is IPS, it displays Cisco devices. I'm talking here. Okay. If what device you are accessing, router means router only it displays, switch means switch, firewall means firewall, IPS means IPS only it will displays here this one. Okay. Now, once you get into the router, so I'm getting this one router, then this one greater than value. This is called user mode. This is called what? User mode. This one is the user mode. I'm into what? User mode now here, this one. I am into the user mode here. Okay. If you don't see that one, 1 second. Is this okay now? This is called user mode. User mode means even you turn on your laptop, the first screen, whatever you're getting, right? That's the user mode. From there, you are typing your username and password. Okay, that's the user mode here. We have different modes here, this one. I am into the user mode now. Then next mode, we have the privilege mode. We have what? Privilege mode. To get in from user mode to the privilege mode, you have to type enable. You have to type what? Enable. If you type enable, now you will be getting into the, see, privilege mode. See, this is the user mode and this is the privilege mode. See, router hashtag. This is the privilege mode. Then after this, we have one more mode called global configuration mode. User mode, privilege mode, global configuration mode. To get into the global configuration mode, you can type configure terminal. This is the configure space terminal. If you type, see now into the global configuration, you get like this, the mode. Router in a bracket, config, then close the bracket and hashtag. That is the global configuration mode. This is how main three modes we have. Sub modes we have. Okay, again we have the sub modes. User mode, privilege mode, global configuration mode, we have this one. Now, what is the use of all this mode? What is the difference between all these modes? User mode, privilege mode, global configuration mode. The first two modes here, user mode and privilege mode. Here, only you can do the verification. Only you can do the verification. Verification means something you want to check it out. Something you have configured. Example, routing protocol is configured. That protocol configuration you want to check it out. Or something status you want to be check it out, that one. Only for that reason we use this. Okay. To run the show command, to run the debug command, only for checking. Either you are checking the configuration, you are checking the status, or you are trying to collect the log, something debug to enable. We use this both the mode, both user and privilege mode. But what is the difference? Again, in the user mode, it supports limited commands. In the privilege mode, it supports more commands. More commands it supports. In the user mode, limited commands we have. But in the privilege mode, more commands we have. That's it. But if you want to configure anything, it can be any configuration. You want to assign the IP address, host name, routing protocol, or any other configuration. It can be anything. always it's possible from the global configuration. Always from the something you want to configure, global configuration mode here. Got it? Okay, now I am into the global configuration mode. I want to go back. Just type exit. From the global configuration mode, if you type exit, so now you're into the privilege mode. Now you want to go back to the user mode. For that, we can type disable. Enable to get from the user to privilege mode. Disable to go back from the privilege to the user mode. Got it? Getting this one? Yes or no? See, I am having like this router. This is the user mode I'm having. Then I'm having router privilege mode I'm having here. Then I am having router config global configuration mode we have. Then we have some sub modes. Example, I'll be writing here this one. Router config hyphen if. That means interface mode. Or router config hyphen line mode. Okay, this is how we have a different modes here. Okay, now if I want to go from user mode to privilege mode, okay, I had to type enable. I'm in the user mode. If you type enable, you'll be going to the privilege mode. Or from the privilege mode, you want to go back to the user mode, just type disable. Got it? Enable, disable. Clear? One. Next, you're into the privilege mode. You want to go to the global configuration mode. Type configure terminal. Configure space terminal. My handwriting is not that much good. You have to understand that. Okay, configure terminal. If you type, you'll be going to the global configuration mode. From here, you want to come, just type exit. Just type exit, you'll be coming here this one. Okay, now you are into the global. You can get in from here to the line. You can get in from here to the interface mode also. If you want to get into any sub mode, it's possible only from the global configuration mode here. Okay, got it? Okay, now here, from that I'll show you. That's when we do the configuration that goes into the sub modes. Okay, from any of this mode, if you type exit, from any of this mode, if you type exit, it goes straight to the global configuration mode. Or from any of this one, if you type end, it goes straight to the privilege mode. Okay, yeah. Or sometimes you want to come out. Try to type Control plus C or Control plus Z. Control C or Control Z if you want, it will be coming out. Huh? It will be coming to privilege. Okay, you want to come Control C or Control Z. Now, any more directly it comes here, end or this one. Okay, this is how it will be getting that one. Got it? The modes, user mode, privilege mode, global configuration mode, then sub configuration mode we have, how we can get in and how we can come out this one. Any configuration, it's possible only from a configuration mode. From here, user mode and privilege mode, only you can do some basic command verification, checking the status. That's how you can do it that one. Okay, but configuration will be done from here, this one. You have to remember these things. Got it? Online?
Yes, sir.
You guys are not sleeping, right?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So let's go back here. I am into the router. I am in the user mode. To get in where? To the privilege mode, what I had to type? Enable. See here. See, before to that, I'll give the question mark here. If you don't understand anything, the commands, you want to know something, always use the question mark for help. Okay. So I just given the question mark here. Okay. That's the help button. See, it displays what and all the commands we can be execute here in the user mode. After that, still it's showing more. Here, if I give the enter, it gives single command. See, now I'm in the release. Again, I give the enter. See, renew, it has come. Now, what you can do this one, if you give the enter, it goes one single command. Now, to display many commands or more information, use the tab. Use the what? Tab. Tab it use one single page, it comes here, this one. Got it? See, these many commands, it supports under the your user mode. All these commands are there. Different command, different purpose. These many are there. Okay. Don't worry about this. What exactly all these commands, why we are using. Okay. It's depend on your requirement. Always we are not using all the commands. All the commands we are not using. Only depend on the requirement. We are going to use different commands here. Even if you ask me, even I am not aware many commands here in this one. Okay. Because it's depend on the technology, depend on the requirement, depend on the how the topology you have built, we are going to use, or depend on how the protocols you have implemented, what protocol you have implemented, and which protocol you are going to use. That's how we have this one. Okay. But say, for example, if you MR info, I don't know what this command is, this one. It's requesting a neighbor and version information from multicast router. Something it's there, that one. I have never used that command. Okay. Either in the lab scenario I have not used, or in the production I have not used this one. So that's how these many commands we have this one. No, they'll not ask like this. Exam also they'll not. Some basic commands will be there. Yes. So the command, like for example, you have to understand telnet, terminal, trace route. Okay. Then set or login you want, show command. That's very important. Or you want to log out, you want to log in, something. That's how you can use. That's it. Clear we use, connect, disable, disconnect, enable. This is how, depend on scenario, we use different protocol. Now I'm going to use what? Enable. Turn on privilege commands. Okay. Now, here to get into the another mode, again, not required to type full command also. For example, sometimes you just type only 2 characters and use the tab button. Tab. It will complete the command. For example, I'm typing only E, tab I'm using, see it's not taking. Because if it is not taking means with the letter E, either there is no command is supporting or it's supporting multiple commands. Okay. Example, I'll type Z here. Z. See, Z, because with Z, we don't have any command here. There is any command with a Z? Z? No. That means whenever if you type the command, if you use the word, with that, either there is no command start with that letter, or it supporting multiple commands, not character, multiple commands here. So for example, again, I'll go E. See, nothing is coming. Why nothing is coming? With the E, if you see here, this one, there are 2 commands supporting, enable or exit. What you are looking, whether you are looking for exit or enable. So that's the reason nothing is coming here in this one. Okay. Now you just type EN. With the EN 2 characters, only one command is supporting, enable. Exit EX we have, not EN this one. Sometimes it takes with the 2 characters, or sometimes 3 characters, sometimes 4 characters. You just type 2 characters, tab, 3 characters, tab, 4 characters, tab. It will get continue that command here. See, I'm just typing here again, en tab. See, enable, enter. Then dis, see, it's not supporting. DISA, it's supporting. Means DISA, 4 characters I'm giving, tab, disable, it's coming here, this one. Got it? So enable, then configuration terminal. Means if I want to get into the global configuration mode, what I'm typing? Configuration terminal. CONF, see, CONF tab, configure, TER terminal, tab, TER terminal. I can get into that one. Got it? Getting this one? And one more thing you have, you can use some shortcut also. Only EN, for example, to exit. I'm into the this one now, user mode. See, to get into the privilege mode, we have to type enable, right? I'm just typing only EN. I'll be getting into that one. After 2-3 character tab also you can use it, get complete. Suppose you have given only 2 characters. If with that character, if any command is supporting, it takes automatically. EN, enable, only one command we have. See, just shortcut also you can use. Configure terminal, not required to type completely configure space terminal. Conf space T. If I type, it takes the configuration terminal. That's how shortcut we have this one. So if you keep on practice this one, you'll be getting that one. Or if you are not getting also that one, EN 2 characters, try to use tab, tab, tab. After 2-3 character, it will get complete that command, that one. Clear? Okay. So by default, you take, okay, fine. I want to be check it out the version of this router. Example, where the iOS is installed. What is the version of the iOS is installed? What is the serial number of the router? How many interfaces we have? Interface means Ethernet, serial interface, that how many interfaces you have, that one. How much RAM you have, how much flash memory you have. All these information comes under the version. How you can verify? You can type show version. If you type this command, show version, we'll get all this information. Here you can see that one. First, router uptime also. How long the router is up, whether it's up from 30 minutes, 1 hour, 20 days, 100 days, 360 days, 800 days, everything you can be see from the show version. Here you can see that one. Router uptime is 46 minutes. This router is up from last 46 minutes here. Next, system image file means router image file where the iOS is stored on the flash memory. Okay, what is the iOS version? C1841 IP base 12.4. Okay, then always see this C1841 means C means Cisco. This iOS, if you remember that one, always Cisco develops the iOS based on the series of the router. We don't have a generic iOS. Generic iOS means, example, you take Windows operating system. That's a common or generic operating system. That operating system, you take any laptop, any desktop, you can install. So you take Windows 10, you can install in my laptop, any other desktop, any other laptop, you can be installed. But iOS, it's not like that one. Cisco develops. See, this is the which hardware model? 1841. Okay. Can you see this one? This is the Cisco 1841 series. For every different series of the router, they develop different operating system. Okay. So here you can see that one. By seeing the iOS, C1841 means C means Cisco, and this operating system is developed for only for 1841. Okay. Next, IP base. What type of operating system is this one? Again, based on the technology, we have the operating system. So in detail, I'm taking the iOS class. There is a separate iOS class we have that I'll be discussing in the collaboration part. Not now. Okay. So we have the IP base. Then this is the version 12.4 version. 12.4.3 IE. This is the version here. Then always iOS comes into the .bin format. Always iOS comes into the .bin format. Okay, so now you can look into here this one. Two fast Ethernet interfaces we have, two serial interfaces we have. Can you see this one? And 191 KB of NVRAM we have, 191 kilobytes KB. Okay, and 31360 KB of flash memory we have this one. Can you see this one? 31360. You want to convert that into how much GB you have or how many MB you have this one. It's very simple. Go to the calci. Okay, go to the calci here. 31360 we have, right? So, also 31360. This is what, right? 31360. Okay. Divided by 1024. Because always we calculation come 1000 bytes, right? Okay. Equals 30 MB. 30 MB of flash we have. That's it. After KB, MB only becomes, right? Not 30 GB that one. 30 MB of flash memory we have. That's how you can calculate. You want to calculate NVRAM also, you can calculate. 191 we have divided by 1024 0.18 MB we have this one. That's how you can, but now the latest hardware, whatever we get in GBs. It's very simple, very old router, that one. Nowadays, we are not using that series of the router. Concept is everything same. Okay, same commands. There also the commands are same. There is no difference on that one. Maybe one or two command may be a different, but base commands, everything same, that one. Got it? That's how you can check your show version. This is the configuration registry file. Always the configuration registry file should be 0x2102. It should be always 0x2102, that one. This comes into the hexadecimal format. Okay, 0x2102, that one. This is the configuration. Suppose rather than this, any other module you have this one, then what happened this one? It's not possible. You are saving something configuration. It will not get saved, that one, on your router, that one. So always it should be 0x2102. Configuration registry file should be. If you remember on the boot up process, it looks for the configuration registry file. Configuration registry file, it will help you to find the IOS, where exactly IOS is stored. For that, refer the last class video, then it comes to know on the boot up process, router boot up process. Clear? Okay. Fine. Now, see, by default, router is router, right? But I want to change this name. But everywhere, every company, they change the name. They will not keep it as a router, because in my company, there are 100 routers are there. All are a router. Router means which router? So based on the location, they give or separate unique name they give here. So to change anything, I had to go where? Configuration mode, global configuration mode, conf t, configuration type. Just type host name. Then whatever the name you want, you can type. See, if you give the question mark, you don't know what command. You give the question mark, it displays how many supported commands comes under this one. Whenever if you see word, that means that's not a command. Whatever you want, you can type it there. If you see here word, that word is not a command. You can type whatever you want, that one. Okay. Rather than word, if any other things are there, that's a command. Okay, I'll show you. For example, I want to change it to the R1. R1 means what? Router 1. See, now it's got changed, right? From router to R1 here. That's how the R1 you can do it, this one. Next, here in this router, see, I'm going to type some wrong command. Wrong command I'm going to type. See, conf space t is the actual command. What I am doing, conf t. I'm not giving the space, I'm typing the t here. This is the wrong command. When you type the wrong command, what happened here in the router? whenever you give any instruction, means ConnFT, I have given the instruction to the router, right? When I have given the instruction to the router, in the router, it's going to check it out locally in the directory. Hey, what is this command? If the command is not matching, now router try to resolve with a DNS server. Suppose if this router is connected on the internet or DNS is configured, it try to resolve with a DNS server. What is DNS? We'll discuss later that one. Okay, on the collaboration part. What is DNS? How DNS works? Why we require DNS and everything, that one. It try to resolve with that DNS. There also, if there is no information in the DNS, then finally it tells that one, hey, it's unknown command. Okay, but it takes some time to get resolved, that one. See here, translating conf to domain server. Domain server means DNS server here. But immediately I'm getting here this one coming out. For this one, what you can do this one, you can execute one command. No IP domain lookup. If you execute this no IP domain lookup means, whenever if the user or administrator giving the wrong command, check it out in your directory. If it is not matching, don't resolve with the DNS. Don't resolve with the DNS. Okay. Now see, I'll type conft. Again, wrong command I am typing. Earlier, what happened? It took some time here. It was trying to resolve with the domain name. See, again, I'm giving the conft. See, immediately it's coming here. It's not sending. Earlier, it was sending to the domain, right? Now it's not sending here. Okay, it's checking locally here, this one. So that is what no IP domain lookup. Whenever if you type wrong command, it has to check locally. It should not send that command to the DNS server to look what exactly that command, that one. There is no use. Even if you look in the DNS also, you will not find anything on that one. Okay. So that's how this command executes. No IP domain lookup. Clear? Getting? So the next is what happened here. I want to set the password. Password means, see, I am into user mode. Here in the user mode, I want to set the password. If I type enable, I'm getting into the privilege mode. For this, I want to set the password. You are into user mode. From the user mode, you want to go to the privilege mode. You want to set the password. Okay. See, anything you want to configure, global configuration. Here you just type enable space password. Then after, anything you can type here. Whatever the password you want, you can type it here, this one. Password is Cisco. Always, whenever you do the practice, give the Cisco here. Because if you are giving a different name, some other student, they want to be practice that one, it will be get very difficult for them, that one. So always use the password Cisco, not in uppercase, all in the lowercase here, this one. See, now I have set the password as a Cisco for the enable mode. Now, say I'm typing Control C. I'm into what here? Global configuration, right? See, Control C means you will be coming out here, this one. Now again, disable. I'm into the user mode now. If I type enable, see, now it's asking password. Now I type Cisco, see, then only I can get into that one. That's how you can set the password for your enable mode. Means to come from user mode to the privilege mode. And that's the mandatory, you have to set it, that password. Because whenever you want to access the device remotely, that we have to set the password for that one. Enable mode. Without setting, if you enable the telnet also, it will not work. It will ask, enable password is not set, enable password is not set. Getting everyone? It's very simple commands, man. Only one very simple command. There is no lengthy command also, but you have to remember. How you remember? If you practice, you will be remember that one. So now you are writing down the running notes. You have to go through the video. Okay, study one more time, make your own notes, practice on the same day, or max to max you practice on the next day. You have any doubts, any questions, come back to me, that one. That's how you have to practice in every day. If you are not practicing, not studying, not preparing the notes, then there is no use. Even if you are regular to the class, then there is no use. Online,
Yes, sir. Sir, as you said the password, so if you want to change the password, then what is the
Again,
command for
same
that?
enable password and change it. Same command you can use it. Enable space password and give some more. It's going to override that one.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you want to change the password now. Cisco we have some other password you want. So same command you type and give the password. It is going to override that one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next. Now in my router we have the interfaces, right? Ethernet, serial, and everything. That I want to be check it out. Okay, how many interfaces we have, what IP address is assigned, what is the status of that one, and everything that one. For this, you can type show IP interface brief. Show IP interface brief. If you type here this one, now you can see this one. 2 fast Ethernet interfaces we have and 1 serial interface I'm having. Got it? 2 fast Ethernet and 2 serial interfaces we have. So here you can see we have not assigned any IP address. Now we can assign the IP address to that router. One second. No, in the production, it will not happen like that. Whenever you do any configuration, you have to make it the documentation for that. Okay. Without documentation, you will be not doing anything on that one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign the IP address to this interface, fast Ethernet 0/0. For this, I'll go to the global configuration mode. Now I have to get into this interface. First, type interface fast Ethernet 0/0. This is called sub interface. Can you see the config if interface mode? Okay, if means interface mode, that one. Now I am into this interface, fast Ethernet 0/0. Now you can type the command. How you can assign the IP address? Type IP space address. Then what IP address you want to assign? For example, 142.100.64.203. This is an IP address. Then after, if you give the question mark, see, after that one, if I give the enter, incomplete command. That's not a complete. That's what the beauty of command line. Sometimes you give the wrong command, it will not take it. The graphical, what happened? Something you give, it takes. But after that, it will not work, and troubleshooting is difficult here. But the graphical is, command line is what? Until the command is not matching, it will not take it that one. Okay. So that's how it's more secure here. So if you give the question mark, it's asking for me to be subnet the subnet mask. So subnet mask is 255.255.0.0 actually, because 142 is the class B IP address, but I'm giving class C subnet mask. Why? Because host can be converted to the network, right? 255.0. That's how you can give assign the IP address to that interface. Now again, I'll come out. I'm just typing Control C. Then I can type show IP interface brief. Shortcut I'm using here, not using full command. Now you can see this one. So we have assigned the IP address, this one, but still status is down. Can you see this one? Status is down. It should be up. Why status is down? Because you take any interface by default in the router, they are into the disable mode. They are into disable mode. You have to enable it manually. How you can enable it? Again, I'll go to that interface. See, if you have used the command recently, you can use the up arrow key, up and arrow here. See, I'm typing interface. See, interface first 0 slash. I'm getting into this. Type no shutdown. You have to type what? No shutdown. See, light also blinking. Here also you can see the status. Fast Ethernet 0/change state to up. Always you have to give no shutdown here. Now again I'm coming out. Then again Show IP interface brief. Here we go. Fast Ethernet 142.168.203, and it's up. That's how you can assign. Serial also you can assign the same way. Any interface, but you have to get into that serial interface. Instead of here, interface fast Ethernet I'm typing, right? Interface serial and the number 0/0/0 you have to type. Got it? That's how you can be assigned. Now what I have done, host name I have changed, enable password I have set, IP address I have assigned here in this one, no IP domain lookup, that also we have done. Now I'm going to enable the telnet in this router so that I can access this router remotely. For this, I'll go to the global configuration mode. Now you can type line VTY space 0 space 4. Okay, line VTY means virtual terminal. Okay, 0 to 4 means you are defining that how many users can access this router remotely, not one single user. Simultaneously, how many users? I'm defining, this is the standard command actually. Okay, 0 to 4. 0 to 4 means you're giving permission for 5 users. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, enter. Then after, you have to set the password whenever you are accessing. Okay, you have to set the password. Type just password. What is the password? Again, I'm giving Cisco. Cisco is the password. Enter. Then you type login. You type what? Login here, this one. Now we have set the password here. That's it. Telnet is enabled. Yeah, whenever you try to log in with the telnet, the password you have to be set. That this has to be applied when you are logging. Now console also you can set the password. No, it works. It works. See now what I have done here, this one. I have enabled telnet and also I have assigned the IP address, right? Because through IP address only you can access any device. Network device, how you can access? Through the IP address. What is the IP address? 203. Now what I'm going to do here, this one. Okay, I'll minimize. I'm closing many things here. Okay, hold on. In this one, first in my PC, I'm going to assign the IP address, but because it should be in the same network, right? I'll go to the shortcut, Windows R, type ncpa.cpl. Okay, that's to get into the network sharing center. Or you can go to the control panel, you can be getting into the network sharing center. Okay, see directly, I'll be getting into the network sharing center here. There are many ports I'm having. This is the virtual port. This is the Wi-Fi port, because laptop you get Wi-Fi also, wired also. This is the port where I have connected here. Now right click here, go to the properties, go to the TCP IPv4, select that one or double click on that one, go to the properties. See here, already I'm into the same network, 142.168, but my gateway is 203. For that router, I have assigned 203. DNS is not required. I'm just giving the OK. Close. Close. After that one, yes, you have to select yes. Close. Then go to the command cmd, you type. Okay. You can type ipconfig space /all to see your IP address. All interface or single interface you have in your this one, just type ipconfig. It display your IP address. Okay, my E is here, 142.164.78. And this is the subnet mask, this is the gateway which I have assigned, right? This one. Now, check it out, the connectivity. Connectivity means from my laptop to this router, there is a connection or not, you have to check it out, that one. For this one, type ping, packet internet grover. This is the command we use to check the connectivity anywhere. Okay, ping and IP address. What is the IP address of that router? 142.100.64.203.203. Enter. See, it's pinging. See, 4 packets I have sent, 4 packet I have received. Lost is 0%. No pinging is there here, this one. That's how you can check the connectivity. Ping. Okay. So what is the ping? Ping we use, packet internet grouper. The ping we use to check the connectivity here, this one. Just I'm closing this one. I'm opening another terminal session. See, this is already we have through the console, right? Or you want to cancel that, you can just cancel that one. Okay, no problem. You want to remove this cable, remove this cable, console cable. Now see, I have removed the console cable. Now I have not connected to the router here. Now I'm going to access remote access. For this one, again, you can go to this putty. Here you can type the IP address 142.100.64.203. Then here SSH is there by default. We are not accessing SSH. Here you have to select other telnet I am having here. Can you see this one? Other telnet. Now open this one. Here we go. See, it's asking password. What is the password? If you remember line VT by something I have given, that's the password. See, now I'm into the router one. Okay. Now you type enable. Again, it asks password. Remember, we have set the password for this one. That's how we can access the routers remotely. Got it? Now you want to set the password for console also, you can set the password. See, I'm going to be set the password for console. I'll go to the global configuration mode. Line con space 0. Con means console. Line console 0. Okay. Enter. Password is Cisco. Then login. That means whenever if you try to log into the console, okay, password has set as a Cisco when you are trying to log in this one. Okay. Now I'll just come out, or I'm going to close this one. Okay. Now again, I'm trying to connect with the console here. Can you see this one? See console cable. I'm connecting to the router here. Okay, I have connected. Now again, I'm going to be access the router with the console. See here, serial COM4. You remember that? Why we have to select COM4 here? Okay, enter. See, enter. Oh, ho, ho, ho. How come it's I'm into the line page? No problem. Exit. 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 See, R1 console is now available. It's asking password. Got it? Cisco, if I type, then only I'll get into that one, R1.
Sir, in case if you forget the password?
Yeah, you have an option to break it, that one. But yes, in the production network, so each and everything has to be documented. Okay. There will be a documentation, there will be a spreadsheet, there will be some portals where everywhere, everything should be uploaded there. Generally, it will not happen in the production. Why? Because in the production, whatever the things you are going to do, you have to document that one. Yes, but we have an option if you forget the password, how to break it, that one. Okay, you have to remove the flash memory, then you have to turn on the router, it goes to the Roman mode. From the Roman mode, you can break the password. Again, you can insert the flash memory. Again, you can come. Some process is there here. That's not a normal simply just right click, click, or 1-2 command to be break the password, that one. But generally, it will not happen. Why? Because production, yes, you are the engineers. You should be know that one. How to document and everything, and you had to document that one. That's the process. Can able to access them same time. That you can set the privileges. That is a different thing. Suppose, for an example, I'm the L1 engineer. When I'm accessing the router as a L1 engineer, you can define that what privileges you can give. Whether sometimes I'll be having only read permission. I cannot configure anything, that one. That will be audit logs will be there. Audit log. Anyhow, whenever you are be logging through the this one, you are logging. What to say that one? Username and password. With your username and password you are using. We have a concept of TechAct server or Radius server there. Okay, so that's a separate concept. That one, whenever you try to access any devices in company, with your username and your password, you are going to be logging that one. So it will be keep track, right? Or who logged in, what command they have executed, and everything. Monitoring tool will be there. Which one? With the username. For that, before to that, the user has to be created here in this one. So let me show you that one. How we can create a username. or how you can log in as a username. Now I'm in the console. Okay. Configure terminal. I'm going to create one username. Okay. Type username and whatever the name you want, you can give that one. What's your name? Satya. For me, it takes some time to remember the names. Satya. Only Tya. Thya. Okay. Satya. But I have given S is uppercase. Then password. Cisco. Okay. Now, if you remember, line VTY we have enabled, right? Again, get into the same thing. Line VTY 0 to 4. First type no login. You remember login we have given. Now you type login local. There are two different commands we have. Login, if you type, you have to use enable password to login. Means normally this password and enable. Login local means you have to log in with the username. That's what it defines. Now I'll open one more putty session. I'm going to access the router remotely. I'll type IP address 142.100.64.203. Now I'm trying to access with the telnet. Open username, it's asking here. Why? Under the line VTY, I have given login local. Whenever you type login local, always you have to log in with the username. Only login if you give, only the password, not with the username. Okay. Now, Sathya, Satya, username, password is Cisco. See, now I'm into the router one. Yeah, that many users you have to create. Which one? That's it. Usernames you have to create multiple. Whatever you can give, Satya I have given. You want to give C, you can give. You can D, it will create that one. One thing, why 100 user wants to be access the router? Tell me. This is not a computer. No, this is not a computer, one thing. Or this is not a print server. It's not a file server. Then why the normal users in a company, there are 1,000 users are there. That 1,000 user, why they want to access router? What is the use of that? Only the network engineer will access, right? Normal user, by accessing what they will do in this one. Got it? If it is a file server or application server, something, then they can access. Then they can give the permission. Generally, nobody, I have never experienced or seen or heard that 100 people will access the router. You take any company, nobody will access that one. You, for an example, their friends are working in HSBC project. Okay. To support that HSBC project, maximum globally 70 engineers are there. How big that HSBC is bank? For their network to support for the collaboration, how many engineers are there? 70 engineers are there globally. Got it? So why they want? And all the 70 engineers, they will not log in at the same time and they will not access routers. Yes or no? Okay. Anything else? That's how we can able to be access the routers. Got it? This is the basic configuration, basic commands. Okay. How telnet enable, usernames you can be create, set the password for line console, usernames how you can be create, IP address how you can be assigned, how you can verify that one, how version you can be verify. This is how everything. Now, whatever I'm doing, right? Okay. Now it's in RAM. And this is called running configuration. I'm accessing, doing something, everything, right? It is called what? Running configuration. The running configuration stores where? In RAM. If I restart the router, it will erase everything. It will got everything. So now I want to save this configuration. NVRAM. I want to save. How we can save? It's a very simple command. Copy space running -config space startup -config. This is the command you can type. Okay. Copy running configuration to startup configuration. Okay. I am not configuring that one. See, show run. Run means running configuration. If I type whatever I'm doing, see, host name we have set, enable password we have set, no IP domain lookup we have created, username we have created, fast Ethernet IP address we have assigned. Okay, can you see this one? Line console password we have set, line VTY we have created here. Everything, this is the running configuration. Show startup configuration, nothing is there. Startup configuration is not present. There is nothing. We have not saved anything in that one. Now I want to save this configuration. For this one, type copy space running -config space startup -config. Enter. It's asking destination. Do you want to save with the same name? Startup -config. If you give the enter, it's save with this one, or any other name you want to give, you can give. But I'll go with the same name here. Building configuration means saving configuration. Got it? So earlier, when I used to execute this show startup configuration, nothing was found, right? If I type, see, everything is coming. Now, whatever it was there in the running, now it's copied into the startup configuration, this one. That's how. Or one more command, we have this one. You don't want to type that one, copy running config startup. Just type write memory. Write space memory. It's going to save the configuration. Still, you want some shortcut, just type WR. You don't want to write that write memory also. Okay, just type WR. It's going to save the configuration. That's how you can save your configuration. Got it? This is the basic router configuration and how you can access. How you can access with the console, how you can access with the telnet, and how you can do the basic configuration modes, user mode, privilege mode, global configuration mode, how you can set it this one. Is this clear? Online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.